Don't blink, it's your blink. Welcome to our show. Hope you guys are doing well because I'm having a wonderful day on this 1st June 2025. Today I bring to you season 11 of Trailer Park Boys. The good news is this. Oh, I don't have Wi-Fi. Okay. We turn off the Wi-Fi so it's faster when I upload videos. Today I bring upon you it kind of like a surprise, kind of like a big surprise to be honest. Because usually what I'll do is I'll have a bunch of videos to do and I have no time and I'm like, fuck, what am I supposed to do? Today, we got none of that. We got some big surprise in the sense of we're going to be starting with season 11 and we'll be finishing season 11 today. This is the first time since I started this journey of Trailer Park Boys where I know I'm going to have enough time for the whole season. I have 2 hours. Why? Because after 2 hours, we have our TikTok well, it's not me, but I like to watch TikTok battles. So there's two people that I really like watching, and they're starting at 9:40. So this is what's gonna happen. Season 9. By the way, I was talking about this yesterday. I'm gonna give a shout out to a special someone, my mom that I love so much, and Jenna Canuck, or Jenna Arrington. But Jenna Canuck is her Instagram account, so this is the Trinity account. I gotta say, she looks phenomenal. Jacob, you lucky son of a bitch. You lucky dickweed. So without further ado, let's get into it. Season 11. Season 11 felt a lot better. I actually really like Season 11. Season 11 is possibly some of my best stuff. Possibly the best series. The best season. I'm having a problem with the computer, so just give me a sec, we'll fix it. Why? It's because I do feel, see, the older stuff was great. The older stuff was my favorite stuff. The older stuff is culturally epic. It's a classic. Why am I looking for another word? It's a classic. The problem with the old stuff is there's so little of it. We're talking about season with 6 episodes of 20 minutes, you know? So you watch this in an hour and 20, right? And although for binging it's amazing, but you don't necessarily want to binge a season or a series, and if you binge a series, you don't want to finish it. And so, for example, right? So we just did it. So the old stuff is 5 seasons of 6 and 2 of 10. That's 50, right? 50 is good for a show, but is it enough? So then you go to the new stuff where there's a lot more. It is 10 episodes per season. It is 30 minutes per episode. So it's a lot more. See how slow it is? I don't know what's going on or what is happening. At least it's working. So then I'm singing my little heart out. Netflix is here. There we go. It should be pretty cool. So, like I was saying, with the older stuff, yeah, there's more content, but it's shitty. Season 8 wasn't that bad, but I didn't like it. Season 9 was horrible. Season 10 was really good. Season 11 is, to me, Season 11 and Season 12. See, I don't want to be a dick, right? I don't want to be a dick, but to me, this is almost perfection. Why? I'm going to repeat myself, and I know I'm going to be annoying, but this is a Trailer Park Boy fan here, so this is a fanboy talking about a show that he fucking loves, and if you don't like it, well, fuck off. What do you want me to tell you? So I think what happened is, and this is my personal opinion, I think what happened, and it sucks because I would like to give you another reason than just that, but this is the reason I'm going to give you, and this is the reason in my mind why this works. So what happened with the first season, the first era of Trailer Park Boy is they had the they had the recipe down. It was banging, it was amazing. The problem was, I think a lot of it was Mike Clattenburg, right? And the new stuff, sorry, we're playing the tower. And the new stuff, Mike Clattenburg isn't involved. Involved, yeah. So because he isn't involved, you can tell that he isn't involved. Now, the newer stuff, it's Ricky, Bubble, and Julian. So Ricky, Bubble, and Julian, which is again Mike Smith, Rob Well, and Jean Paul Tremblay, they come in and they have this great mentality of, we've been listening to people, we know what they want. This is our show. We've been playing these characters for years. We know exactly how to play them, which I like. Right? Be confident about the characters, and also, per, per example, right? One of my problems with the older stuff, and you can watch back the videos I did, was Ray. Ray being Barry Dunn being one of the executives. He put himself in the lot. The problem is, you can do it's like a different show. This is it was more like, this is what I want Ricky to be, versus this is what Ricky should be. It was more like, well, this is what Bubble should be. That's why we had angry Bubbles. That's why we had him. He was grumpy. Right? People didn't like that. So I think that what happened is season 8 they really tried stuff. Season 8, when you look at it, I would be completely honest. I look back at season 8, even though we watched it 3 days ago, fondly. It's not bad. It's not great. Season 9 was almost unwatchable. I was so glad it was finished, right? So, because season 9 was so bad, season 8 in my mind was good, right? Now, what happened with season 10 is, I think they got comfortable. And I mean this in the best of way. I think they got comfortable in saying, okay, well, this is our show, but this is also the show of our fans. There's a lot of fan services, and there's a lot of, there's a lot of fan services. Like, for example, season 10, one of the first scene that we have was Randy talking about little Randy, right? Which was his kid with Lucy, and it just served a good purpose because, like, okay, well, there's a question that people wanted to know. So when you put that in the first episode of, if you put that as the first scene of the first, well, it's not the first scene, but you know what I mean, a very early scene of the first episode of your series, it gives the momentum, it gives the tone of the series. With season 10, I feel like they're finally in a place where they're comfortable. Season 10 and season 11, season 12, the reason in my mind why they're so good is simply that, is it feels like newer Trailer Park Boys. There's a lot of moments where it's cringe, it's the humor that the boys are used to. And again, I'm going to repeat myself, but when you're in part of the universe of Trailer Park Boys and when you're part of the podcast, it is so fucking simple. It is so fucking simple because you know how the guys are. Yes, they're playing a character, but their reality or their personality slips in. I've watched possibly close to 1,000 hours of the podcast, right? So I know how the boys are. And I'm not saying this as a negative, this is a positive. So I can recognize them, right? Season 10 feels like we're in a comfortable place, but we're also in a place where it is fun, it is funny. Like, per example, the animated series, the problem that they have, and now I'm gonna have to defend the boys. I don't have a choice. I love the boys way too much. People say, "Oh, the animated series suck. The animated series suck. The animated series suck." It doesn't suck. The reality is, Leahy was dead. Marguerite is dead. Phil Collins is dead. Cyrus isn't part of it. Trevor isn't part of it, right? Plus, there's the problem with the fatigue. So, for example, the problem with fatigue, in my opinion, is kind of like The Office. The Office season 1 to 7, gold. After that is shit. Why? Because you don't have that many characters, and your character, you already explained them, right? We had 4 seasons of Jim going against Pam and trying to get her, and when he gets her, it's one of the shittiest couple of TV. We have Dwight, who becomes more human, but it took him 7 seasons. Dwight was a hateable character. I love Dwight at the end, but in the beginning he's a piece of shit. There are some moments of Dwight that are really rare, right? It's like a Vegeta. Vegeta Saiyan saga, a bitch. Vegeta Frieza saga, a bitch. However, when he dies, he tells Goku, "You're the warrior. I hate to say it, but you're the chosen one." And he wants Goku to win because he's a Saiyan. Cell Saga, Vegeta is still an asshole. However, Vegeta becomes better because he now has Bulma and he has Trunks. So he's acting like a father. The best moment of this Cell Saga is when Vegeta comes in and it's like, yo, his son gets fucked up. He gets fucked up by the bad guy. Vegeta's like, don't touch my son. defends him, and then at the Boo Saga, which is the end, he sacrificed himself. And like, okay, well, finally, a good character, you know? But there's a fatigue. You cannot always have an asshole. This is what's going on now. Because so many people are left, it doesn't feel like the real show. You can replace them, right? So, for example, you could replace. Funny thing is, in season 11, which we're doing right now, Lucy. I'm spoiling it a bit, but Lucy's gone. We get a replacement from the girl from This Hour Has 22 Minutes, which is a really good show, really good Canadian show too. And she's in characters, and although we like her, you know, it's not the same thing. Or we get another character, which is Candy. Candy, we remember her from, I don't remember where we get Candy from. When did Julian date Candy? I forgot about that. I completely forgot. But I know he's dating a girl called Candy. We're seeing her again. So you see, it's all about using your characters. Okay, so let's start this review. I'm actually curious. Candy, Trailer Park Boys. I don't even remember Candy. Trailer Park. And I love Candy, she's cool. Wait, okay, never mind. Oh, Candy, she's dead. It's not Candy. What was the girlfriend of Julian? Julian's girlfriend. Trailer Park Boy, TPB. Julian. Girlfriend. I'm pretty sure it's Candy. Trailer Park Boy. Because it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. But this season, to me, let's go back to this season. To me, it was so good because you're in a perfect space of this is new shit and this is old shit, you know? It's a mixture. This is the show that you love, but this is the way we see it. So the very first episode, we have Ricky who lives in his car, right? And the reason is because his trailer is burnt down. The coolest thing that they did was showing the trailer burned down. Now, there's a whole scene with it. There's a whole freaking scene with it, which is basically that Lucy, the whole thing with Bubbles. She told everybody that Bubbles was, he tried to R-word her, which is the rape word. And it wasn't true. It wasn't true. So they kicked him out of the show, right? And I'll be completely honest. The damage that Lucy has done, has been kind of bad. It's been kind of bad because a lot of people, oh my god, it's not so much. Okay, so I think it's more so like a almost generational. So when Lucy did it, it was the Me Too movement. So we're coming out after our Harvey Weinstein and people like that, you know. So a lot of people came in, and I'm not saying that it's a this is when real life meets Trailer Park Boys. There was also a lot of false allegation, like Bubbles, but because everybody was talking about the Me Too, and they were talking about it, when Lucy said that, people believe Lucy, and the show possibly lost a couple of fans there. And then when they learn it, you know, and when they learn that it's not true, they came back, but still, it was kind of shocking. So now they're saying that Lucy left, right? And it feels very weird because when you know where she left, kind of shitty. The only person that talks good about her was Trinity, and Trinity is like the money that mom sent me. So the fact that they're using is she's the nanny for Tom Arnold. What do you think that Ricky burned the trailer down? Now, this is really cool because, again, this is rooting the plot. We remember season 5. When Ricky burned the trailer down. My ears are crazy today. And, shout out to Janice. I talked to Janice today, one of my best friends. I fucking love that guy. You know? He burned the trailer, which is cool. And then got Bubbles, who said, hey, I did some investigation of my own, and it could have been the squirrel that did it. You know what? You know what's crazy? Look at the shed. Look at the little bench that he has. This shed is delicious. So he's like living into the trailer. We got Jim Leahy and Randy. Now this is what is crazy cool. Right away, you wanna you want to look at Leahy and the relationship with Ricky. Leahy is a lot cooler with Leahy. Leahy's a lot cooler with Ricky. A lot cooler. He's really cool with Ricky. And again, you know why. You know that he is Ricky's father. So that's actually super important because you see the relationship. Randy wants to be a cop, right? Which is cool because at the end of last season, you know that Randy and Leahy were reinstated back as a trailer park supervisor in the Ashton Trailer Park. You got Bubble, who has a tomato sauce company, which is something I love. See, that's it. That's one of the craziest things ever because Bubbles, which is Mike Smith in real life, started the show as a musician. Now, so it's a long story, but basically what happened is the boys did a tour in the world, and Bubbles really found that there was some good food. So he had a couple of restaurants. So this bubble, and that's what I'm trying to say. This bubble is more like Mike Smith than, for example, Bubbles. So Bubble came up with a tomato recipe, and he has a tomato recipe. Now the coolest thing with this, is the implements of the park. So they're like, okay, well, the people from the park are working for me, which I love. Give me people from the park working for you. Give me people from the park helping you out. This is what I want to see. This is what I want. I want the park to be part of this because we don't do is take away from the main cast. Tell me something about the Trailer Park Boys. We saw season 9. We saw there was old people, and we didn't see anything. The fact that he's employing people is actually really nice. So Bubble has this company. He's buying this new phone. He has this new car, which is good because we're seeing it. We're seeing what happened. Again, we're establishing what happened since last season. Not about what's happening now. What happened since last season? Julian being out. This is cool because last season Julian left. So it's how Ricky evolved without Julian, and it's how Bubbles evolved without Julian. Bubbles is the person that changed the most. When Julian left, Bubbles like, I'll have to take care of the park. I do have to take care of the park. So he was in charge. They made the company to make some cash, right? And it's funny because we know that if it's not for Julian, Bubbles and Ricky are kind of fucked. They're kind of fucked because they don't have enough of business senses to really work properly. So Bubble having this tomato sauce company is good. We see Sarah talk about Julian, how he left, which is also good because the first thing you do talk about Ricky, what he's doing. Lucy isn't there, the trailer burned down. Talk about Bubbles, he has this new sauce. Talk about how Julian's leaving affected Ricky really pushed himself. We got Trinity is working for a tomato company, which is cool because again she's involved. And then we got Barbara talking about how good the park is. This is what I fucking love about Trailer Park Boys. So Barbara, she says, Bubble has been really helpful. Ricky has been really helpful. Bubbles employs a lot of the people from the park, which means that they have job, which means they can pay their law fees, which I fucking love. He has this company for the tomato sauce. We got Jim Leahy right away talking about how. So it's kind of crazy because the last season ended with Leahy saying, "I'm your father, Ricky," which is again, it could have been the perfect ending, but it could have been also this perfect like cliffhanger for next season. So right away he's like, okay, well, I need to talk to Ricky. So he talked to Ricky, but Ricky was a coma. He didn't know. Bubble, he does something really fucking cool. He sells some sauce, and then there's a guy that said, "Hey, I love your sauce. I want you to be. I want to buy the recipe." And Bubble's like, "No way." And then he said, "What will Julian think?" And then Ricky, as a joke, said, "Julian will possibly do this." And Julian's like, "No, you're fucking right. He would do this." And that's how they do it. So it's kind of cool because again, they're doing. You see, this is beautiful because in the first place, you established that Bubble has a new business. Bubble sells tomato sauce. And in second place, he's like, okay, well, you just have a big contract, which is really good. That's it. He signed a big contract. They're happy. You got Randy. Now, Randy in this season is a bit annoying because he wants to be a police officer, which we saw in season 6. For example, this one. Yeah, it's this guy. So this guy is Donnie. Donnie is one of the most famous character because Donnie doesn't have a face. If you play the game Trailer Park Greasy Money, the face of Donnie is blurred out. So he arrests Donnie, and Lake's like, no, you cannot arrest him. Which would be good if it wasn't for season 6, when Randy started kicking out everybody from the park. That's not how you treat people. So yeah, stupid uniform. Randy is wearing this. And what I love is that attention to details. So you can kind of see that he's wearing a shirt. So like, okay, well, how since when Randy pushes the shirt? You want to hear the story about why Randy kind of have shirts? When he was a kid, a horse pee on him, and it created these rashes. That's the story they're given. And if you look closely, if you look at his here, he has plastic bag. So yeah. Yeah, they sip the truck, they make fun of him. The boys they buy some ingredient, right? Which is cool. You do find Cool Now, which is the dog. I like Cool Now because he's part of the story, but it also feels bad because Ricky had Orangey. Ricky had Billy the goat. It feels like Ricky needs an animal, and it possibly is because he's lonely. Back then, it's funny. It's because he's in season 7 he adopts like a raccoon, right? But then you would say that you have a grandson, so this is your paternal effect. A lot of people will see this as Ricky needs to be a father, but you had a pet raccoon. This is it. What I'm gonna do, I'm fucked already. Is I'm gonna go in. I have a bit of light left, and I'm gonna do. What did I do? What I'm gonna do is. Because I'm gonna do content till 9 o'clock. It is 8:09. I'm at 53%, so I'm not gonna have enough battery. So what I'm gonna do is we have possibly 10 minutes, 20 minutes of sunlight left. I'm gonna be charging the phone right away. Having so much battery problem, storage problem, which is the reason is because we're using our phone a lot. But still, so it's gonna help us out a little bit, and if anything and everything, this is gonna be good. So you got Bubbles, who just told people that, hey, and this is cool. This is cool. It's like I have a big order. I can hire more of you guys. But then when you look at it, you get all of these people, and I cannot name one of them. Look at this. This is Sarah. Okay, I'm sorry. Look at this. This is Sarah. This is Corey. This is Bubbles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 people that will never have a name. That could have been characters. I don't care for how long. Just make them a character or something. And if you look carefully, what is he holding? Liquorman Old Canadian Dirty Whiskey, which is a product placement, which would be illegal on the cable, but not on the net. So, Ricky, you got Marguerite drinking. Ricky's like, yo, I need your help. This is a good space for you. She now as two company. Now I don't remember as to why J-Rock is not in his 11th season. I don't remember as to why. I think he left to play Mr. D. T now has to. He has Rockpile Cellular, which is also a business, and Trailer Park Boys, and he had the Oddbox Taxi. Not taxi, but bus. Which is cool, but we saw this before. This is what the plan of J-Rock had. J-Rock had that plan, it didn't work. And it sucks because J-Rock leaving also mean no more MC Flurry. You know? J-Rock leaving, so J-Rock had his party bus that became a kid's party bus that became the party bus. So it's stupid. You got Randy who's trying to get a business. It doesn't work. You got Ricky always getting a call from Skype. He doesn't know what it is. And then it is Snoop Dogg who says, I need your product. Randy is like, yo, give me a phone. Now the cool thing is Randy is in a phone, and you're sure that he is gonna take a phone for I'm gonna be using a phone for wait a second. Why there's no music? Give me a sec. Wait a second. Okay, there you go.
Ride-alongs. It's never gonna get you any closer to being.
See, Jim over here is an asshole because he tells Randy, like, yo, doesn't matter how many rides along you do, you never become a cop. But Randy believes in it. So Randy goes on tour. Well, not on tour, but he goes on cop cars, on cop ride with Ted. Ted is using Randy for sex, and we kind of saw this in season 10 when, whenever there was a problem, Ted would say to Randy, "Hey, I want to go for a ride. I'll fuck you, and but I won't give you any problems." So Jim's understand that because Jim know that Ted's a dick. And he's using Randy, but you cannot tell Randy, hey, he's using you because it's gonna hurt Randy's feeling. That's not the plan. So Randy hides a camera, right? And he gets Ted asking for him for sexual favor, and he blackmails Ted. So you have this. We have more of Reggie, and now he's asking for equipment for the tomato sauce. Bubbles once again. He bought a he bought a little car. What is it? Is it this one? Oh yeah, Reggie shooting at him. What is that? Okay, perfect. Randy is blackmailing him. They find Julian, which is kind of cool, but I would have liked a couple of episodes without Julian. Not because I don't like Julian, because you want to have a growth of the character, and that take adversity. Julian since day one has been the one who solved problems. So because of that, Ricky and Bubbles didn't grow up, and because Ricky and Bubbles didn't grow up, then it's a problem, right? We see Julian house, which is kind of close to a trailer. Julian is poaching freaking lobster. We got a call with Skype. Ricky keeps talking about, oh, it's Skype thing calling me, and then when you answer, it's Snoop Dogg, which is really fucking cool, and he's more the product, right? And that's pretty much it. And it's funny because the whole episode is Bubbles having tomato sauce, and you guys know that he's gonna be using the equipment of Bubbles. So that's pretty much it. Not in a rush, but once again, I want to finish this in like an hour. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to, so I'm like shit. The Walker Zombie is actually super fucking funny. So this is an event that's part Greasy Money. I talk about a lot about Greasy Money because Greasy Money was phenomenal for me. Greasy Money was a free game that didn't take Wi-Fi. Greasy Money was my only link to Trailer Park Boys without having the Netflix series. So there is a young ink that saw 1 to 7, that listened to the podcast, not knowing what happened, and having Greasy Money. So this is huge. The Walkie Zombie. You got Sarah, who Jacob is testing product. It's tasting product for this with energy. The funniest thing is Ricky wants to kill him because he thinks he's a Walking Dead zombie, which again is cool because Walking Dead back then was really, really, really popular. So the fact that we have this is kind of like a cultural thing. We got more fighting between Randy and Leahy. Now, Leahy's trying to protect Randy by telling him, hey, this might not be the best option. However, Randy's like, you just don't believe in me. The boys, they're gonna buy some like OGM, which is a product to help, right? Bud Blaster. They really want to have more product because they have more. It's complex. So the first episode we see Snoop wanting a lot of weed, and you see this client wanting a lot of sauce. They both need like a farm for that, so they need to. They need to what should we call it? They need a lot more help for growing. You got Corey and freaking Ricky playing chess, but Ricky doesn't know how to play chess. However, that's not true because Ricky he learns to play chess in jail. Bubble teach him. So got the emergency. They tell him that Jacob is okay. The reason why he did that is an allergic reaction to cool now. There's something about his blood, so Bubble thinks that Jacob is an alien, which is funny because that's a callback from The Green Bastard, which is season 4. So what is that? I don't remember.
Report stolen. That way you can see there was tons of shit in the front, tons of shit in the back. It's a win-win.
What? Wait, what?
Jacob, all you have is a fucking allergy. Yeah. What kind of?
Oh yeah, okay, good. They were looking for a product, and the product they just sold it, so they want to steal the product, which is a nucleus for the plants. So now Julian's like, yo, you got a car. Can use the collateral. You can burn that shit, and you can say that there's a lot of things for the insurance. Bubble loved the car. She's like, I'm not gonna burn the car. So Julian right away come back, and he wants to make some problem. Now the boys, they seal the wrong barrel. The funniest fucking, wait a second. You got more Randy. Randy ends up blackmailing Ted. It's like, yo, I'm gonna release those tapes if you don't put me in Police Academy. That's like, fuck, I'm gonna do it. The funniest thing with that, I'm gonna spoil it right away, is at the end, Ted is like, I'm sorry, George, I fuck Randy. It's like, okay, I fucked some horse too. So now they want to steal. So they go to this farmer, right? And these farmers are raising bulls. So there's two things. There's the first thing, which is the bull semen and that. So this is actually super fucking cool because this is from the podcast. So in the podcast, there was a news event because talk about the news and current event, which Ricky takes us a river for some reason. Funny as fuck, I know. So talk about this current event, and somebody stole some bull semen. It was worth a lot of money. So a podcast episode is Ricky's friend that stole the bull semen. So you got this whole thing is the small dig because they have a big car. So it's boring. Reggie, I remember it's cool because Reggie gets other customer and their dicks and he protects Ricky. So this is a proof that yo, I like Ricky. What is kind of cool here is that Corey steal this the bull semen. So they get in trouble with this, right? Because they were supposed to steal a product that would have helped. They were supposed to steal a product that would have helped grow some things. You got the trailer park habitant that are helping grow. They each gets a couple of plants to help. The farmer come back to get his bull semen, and it's so fucking funny because he's like, "Yo, I didn't know that was bull semen." So then Julian's like, "I'm gonna help you." It's like, I'm not harvesting another one. So then Julian's like, okay, so how do we harvest it? So they go to the farm, and then they jerk off a bull, and it's Bubbles and Julian. Now the funniest thing is here, not the funniest thing, but the nicest thing, which is super important because it's Barb, Leahy, and Trin. And that's Motel.
I'll still be around to play with you. Yes, I will.
Kimo, we're fine.
Oh, no. I'm coming with you. I'm gonna get my little fix of Moby.
And they're super, super fucking cool. Now, I don't know. I'll be honest, I don't know what's the relationship between Barbs and Leahy. Is Leahy with Randy or not? And they're getting Mo.
Hey, Mo, how's it going, buddy? Good to see ya. You gotta take Julian and Ricky down, sir.
So, Randy doesn't know the secrets of...
Julian moved back to the park. Months. That's not gonna happen, Randy. Oh, you get to decide. Just
It's so cool because Randy... And actually, this is a really good thing for Randy. We saw him be with Jim so many years and evolve with Jim so many years that him being the supervisor and you see the evolution of, okay, well, this is the person I am now. It's super fucking good. I love that. I really, really do. So then Leahy trying to tell him, and Leahy here is one of the best characters because Leahy says, I don't care what you do, but if you chase those guys for the rest of your life, you'll end up like me. You'll end up unhappy. You'll end up going crazy, right? You'll end up an alcoholic, and Randy's gonna be a drunk. No, as a whole, the opposite. Leahy was an alcoholic. Randy's gonna end up smoking more dope. Is the relation between Jim, Leahy, and Motel because it's the grandparents. The funniest thing is, Mo's gonna play a huge part in Jim becoming the grandfather. So Mo's liking Jim is kind of proof of he's a good grandfather. So they go in, they have this tomato sauce. Julian is trying to convince Bubbles to use the equipment to also grow weed for that. And Bubbles, like, once again, my business, which was legit, ends up not being legit. So this is kind of cool. We got season 10. It's going fast, guys. Holy. It's going fast. Now I'm going to go back out because it's dark. But it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be perfect at all. Because I don't know if I'm going to have enough battery.
still feels weird coming back here after being gone for so long. Hey, Mrs. Johnson, lawn's looking good. We got all the tables and lights set up, so hopefully
Yeah,
we'll
growing
have
weed.
this be growing vegetables or bugs. Switch over to growing clones by the end of the day. That's the plan. Jesus, Don, you're gonna have a fucking heart attack, buddy.
I'm really nervous. I'm at 51%. And I have to do an hour more. Okay, so I could do 20. And go back out. Okay. Let's do this. Let's do this. We're good. Okay, fuck. Give me a sec, guys. This is what happened when you don't. Because again, I was supposed to. I'm not complaining, okay? I'm not complaining. I'm actually really happy. I wasn't supposed to stream to be live for this long. But I had people in my life that I really enjoy talking to. Because I really enjoy talking to them, I stayed for longer. Which meant I got less time to charge my stuff. Which is not good. Okay. Good. Guess I'm gonna be using the charger here. 51. I'm gonna be okay on time. Yeah, the battery doesn't fuck up. If the battery fucks up, I'm not good. So yeah, so the plan is still that. Mo's got a fucking gun. I'm out of shape, guys. I'm out of shape. Mo's got a fucking gun and he shoots Ricky in the balls. Which is kind of funny because we remember Trinity shooting Ricky's in the ass. And this is the absolute perfect example of what is actually going on. First, Ricky being shot in the ass was funny enough. Now we need to be shooting him in the balls. Bubbles actually put some super glue on him. He's super sad, most super sad. Bubbles put some super glue because Julian told him it's a good fisherman trick. Now, I would have loved Julian as a fisherman if there was established that Julian really enjoyed the sea before. But it wasn't established. So they're gonna go to see Sam once again, bringing Sam back from the series. So that's the thing with Sam Losco. So the actor of Sam Losco wasn't really. He kept asking to be back, right? And they kept on making place for him. Because if you look at the first, he was a veterinarian. A second, he was a park supervisor. Then he came back to becoming a veterinarian. Then he ends up going to jail and being with Cyrus. Then he is a denture king. Then he's a caveman. Then, you know. So Randy comes in and said, I'm going to arrest you. Because it would be a big thing for him. But Julian kind of pushed him like, yo, you're not going to do shit. So now the boys are bringing some colognes to Marguerite so she can grow them. Randy captured that footage on camera, which he's going to be using to blackmail the boys. You're going to see Sam Losco once again. Super fucking funny because Ricky points a gun at Julian. They're going to the emergency, but it doesn't work. Because they're too afraid they're going to get arrested. So they go back. What is that?
Just get in the fucking Jeep.
Yeah, Julian has a Jeep now. I think you guess.
So yeah, like we were saying, Marguerite, we've got to take two parts of the first solution
For
and
Christ's
one.
sake, I already got that the first time you explained it, you noodlehead. And it's not exactly fucking rocket science.
Well, it's kind of like rocket science.
Get
Okay.
out, come on.
I don't remember this.
Yeah, we're not, man. I know what
Okay, so Randy's trying to trick the boys, which again is cool because right now Randy's trying to trick the boys. However, it's not cool because they did the same thing with the Ash Drive 8. They made him play video games and say, "Yo, Leahy has this new console. Can you help us fix it?" Right? So it's the exact same thing. They say, "Oh, Ricky would be pissed," and now they're joking with that. Bubble is trying to help him. They go to the hardware store and they go next to the rake and said he scratches it on rakes. They get some equipment, they get some material to help him. We got Barbs who's doing some yoga. Barbs here, I love it. It's not so much about not using Barb or using Barb in itself. It's mostly the fact that like she has you see, like I was talking about Sam Losco, right, and how we use him and how we constantly feel the need to use him. Barb, she's the right evolution. She was looking for herself, she found herself. Good. Randy asked her for help because Leahy's not gonna help him, so he's asking everybody for help. but nobody's gonna help him. We go to see Sam. Sam is now the Botox King, the Denture King. So it's super fucking funny. Sam ends up helping the boys, even though he doesn't want to, because it's like every time that you come in, you're fucked, and the price is the Jeep. So yeah, so they're fucked. They're completely fucked. He tells Ricky can I jerk off for 2 weeks, which is not really a plot point, but it's funny because Ricky waits 2 days and jerk off. More of Randy and Julian. They did a photo shoot. They took some photos, and Leahy is making a scrapbook of his grandson. See, that's what I love. Look at this. Leahy here, you can tell that he's getting older. You want to know the best thing about Leahy? Right here, Leahy is sober. He doesn't need alcohol. It's not himself forcing himself to be sober. He just wants to be sober for being there with Mo. So what is it?
Ricky and his family are deserving of a second chance.
So Randy wants to ask him why Leahy's being so nice to Ricky, and here Leahy could have said Ricky is my son, but he didn't have the courage to say it. So now we're growing some weed, which is the plot here. Now the problem with this is I know that Marguerite is aware, but I don't remember if other Trailer Park habitants are here. Now I know what you're saying, dude. Why did you watch that shit yesterday? Why can't you remember? Because later season are less about plot and more about plot points. So instead of having a whole general plot, it's a lot of plot points or smaller plot points. Now the problem with that is you have this. Okay, so it's like Bleach. So you have one big line and you have a lot of small points, and at the end they all reach the end. That's what I don't. So it's a lot harder. Got this episode, Dark Leahy. We got Julian Bubbles going to fish for fucking lobster. Bubble the seaman, right? On this, the whole thing is they catch a lobster and they have a pet lobster. This point, there's two possible reasons. They were looking for more character to add to the Trailer Park Boy and Greasy Money, and the pincer could be it. So Ricky is completely fucked. He want to spend time with Mo. He's supposed to be going there to help the boys, but he ends up being home with Mo. Now the cool thing with that is actually Leahy and Ricky getting closer, which is important because later on Leahy and Ricky is gonna get closer. But this is planting the seed of there could be a relationship between them. We fish a sea once again. Bubble wants to keep the lobster. Julian doesn't want to. This is such a cool scene. I want you guys to listen to the scene.
Fucking lobster trap with one arm. There's no lobster in this one, man. How's your cookie? Yummy.
Hey, Rick. How's my favorite little guy?
Since when am I your favorite little guy?
Yeah, I was talking to Mo. Hi, Mo. How's my funny little guy?
He really does like you, Leahy. I'll give you that.
Yeah, well, I like him a lot.
Who would have thought one of my grandkids liking you?
Yeah, who could have imagined? How you doing anyway? Randy just told me he beat you up. Are you okay?
Fucking beat me up? You need to suck me
Leahy
balls
being nice to Ricky.
Right now, you better tell him to chill out. This cop wannabe shit is driving me fucking crazy.
Yeah, well, Ricky, about that. I heard a little rumor about you and Julian.
See, this is fucking good. Oops. This is fucking good. You don't understand how important this scene is. So what happened is Mo is kind of Ricky. So see, Leahy didn't like Ricky from a young age. He was a good cop, but Leahy had a problem with Ricky, and the problem was Ray, the father of Ricky. He didn't like him. Mo is what Ricky could have been if he grew up in a stable environment. You know? So this is actually really cool. So him being close to Ricky is actually him getting close to Mo. And they both have the situation where they're really friendly. We have the truth that Julian was poaching lobster, not catching lobster. We got Randy exposing his the growth operation. The police don't believe him, which is fucking funny. We have product placement, which now they have iPhones and shit like that, which is really really cool because those phones cost a lot of money. But then you put somebody like like T, and he can sell them proper camera and proper phone. So this is way easier because they're broke, right? So now what's next? We go back to so the whole thing of jerking off the bull, which is funny as fuck. So the funny thing about the jerking off the bull is we don't know who did it. So Bubbles and Julian goes there and they're like, yo, somebody has to jerk off that bull, right? And we don't know who did it. And then what happened is Bubble, the situation is awkward. Julian asks Bubble, do you want a drink? And it's like, nah, not about his hand. So it's intended that Julian was the one that jerked him off. You got the Sunnyvale, which is the boys kind of it's super cool. This is super cool. Ricky teaching the kid to dig hole for the weed plant, and you got a guy who calls them retarded, and Ricky's like, no, you don't say that word anymore. So this is kind of PC culture, kind of cool. And this is why this is so cool, because Ricky is able to say fuck and a lot of bad words, but retarded is not good. So we got George and Ted who comes out and said, hey, Randy told us what's going on. Julian gets arrested for poaching lobster, but
Fuck it. Hands behind your back. Fuck off, man. I know how to get the gun.
Leahy helps him.
You, hands behind your back.
I can do it, Ted. I can do it. I've done it many fucking
All right,
times.
guys. Let's start with this shithole. With pleasure, sir. What the hell's going on here, George?
Leahy helps him.
Ask your partner here. Maybe he can teach you a few things about gathering something you just never seem to be able to get, Jim.
Yeah, well, now it's easy because back in the day, Jim had a fucking camcorder. Randy has his phone. Once again, there's a fight between George and Leahy because George was a shitty cop. There's no cologne. So this is the funniest thing. Ricky comes back and they're digging hole, and this is one of the most important thing.
Can you tell me why my children are so covered in dirt
That girl.
and exhausted from shoveling and running all day? This is supposed to be a
Oh, the girl was not Candy, it was Candice. This is the first meeting. You can see they're both fucked in the head. That's the coolest thing. We got a rock pile who says, hey, we brought you the weed. The police came out. So we know what happened to the weed. The rock pile saved the day. And we also know the police was there. So we're telling Ricky, like, yo, police was there, dude. Randy gets a promotion, but no, because he fucked us up. This is super, super well made, and this is super fucking important. This is so cool that they did that. So, the first thing they do, which, if you think about just how they wrote it, it is so well done. So, if you only think about how they wrote it as Randy has more and more. He's a good cop, right? And he has more and more evidence. And now I'm gonna blow your fucking brains out. And this is what happened when you're a fan of Trailer Park Boys. I had to make these videos because this is for a moment like this. The first thing you do, you establish Randy as a good cop, right? The second thing you do, you establish Randy as a shitty cop. Because Randy didn't have proof. Now, you know why that's such a good point? Because this, my dear beloved friend, ends up on one sentence. You know what that sentence is? Never cry shitwolf. So because Randy cried shitwolf and say there's weed but didn't have proof, he's on the shit list. And next time that Randy has a problem, George gonna say, what? Never cry shitwolf. And that is pretty much it. And that's pretty much it. It's just fucking good, dude. You got Marguerite that says she threw the cologne. She threw all of the growth equipment. They got in trouble. And she revealed that they arrested some people from the park. Now this one is a very, very cool scene. This is a very cool scene. You got Leahy. So Marguerite says that somebody fucked them over. So we know that it's Randy. The problem is Ricky think that Randy had some help. because he says something along the line of Randy's far too stupid to think about that on his own. Somebody helped him, and then he thinks that the person who helped him was actually Leahy. He's like, Leahy fucked me. So he goes to see Leahy, and he begins to want to fight Leahy. Now, in this one, it's kind of shitty because it's boring, it's cringe, right? But it's actually fun in a sense because this is the first time where Ricky and Leahy fights together. But it's more than that. It's a lot more than that. Why? It's because this is when Leahy tells Ricky, "I'm your father," and the way they render it is just like the Star Wars. So they had this moment from Star Wars. So when Luke goes in to kill Darth Vader tells him, "Luke, I'm your father." This one he says, "Ricky, I am your father." There's even was like, for example, he has this this is an important scene.
Ricky, listen, man. I'm sorry about what I did to you, and Ray, and your fucking mother.
See? This is super important. This Dark Force is too strong. He's getting. Let's listen to this. This is from the Star Wars movies. So Ray's will be one in this one.
Told the reason she left Sunnyvale is because you're being such a fucking asshole.
That's a lie.
No. No!
That's not true. That's impossible.
Such your feelings.
So this is the exact thing seen from Star Wars, which is super cool because the boys are actually big Star Wars fan. So I don't want to be a dick. Okay? I don't want to be a dick. I feel like I'm gonna be a dick, but fuck it. So the boys are all around the same age, and back then Star Wars was super popular. That's why Star Wars is so important. We saw it a couple times. When is the last time we saw something that Star Wars did? Oh yeah, during the Halloween event of season 6. That's when we saw it. So I want to. We're pretty much done with this video because it's 52 minutes. Now we're gonna be doing from season. We are at episode 5, so that's pretty good. But before we stopped, I want to give you a piece of information that I personally think is pretty fucking awesome. So if you were a fan of Star Wars, and if you happen to talk German, you knew the plot. Because Dart, so it's stupid. Dart is a prefix for Dark Force, right? This is how you know that there's Sith Lord. It's Dart here acts as a sir or a yeah, it acts as a sir, if you will. So Vader, I don't remember if it's in Dutch or in German, but Vader is father. Yeah. So Dark Father, which is one of the biggest plot points. And yeah, that's it. So we're gonna stop here. I'm gonna do part 2 in a couple minutes. Love ya.